Venomancer can actually do a lot of damage as Venomous Gate actually goes off on CM. Frostbite comes off. Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another epic Dota game. This one is between FullMeals and 3D, and this was played as a semi-final in the Chennai God of Gaming. I've heard great things about this game. People have told me that this is one epic game, and I really am looking forward to something very interesting in this game. So well, let's actually have a look at the lineup. It will be FullMeals versus 3D, like we said. So it's 77 ASD VRN. I think that's Varun, 4 DD, and 4 SS. For FullMeals, it'll be Pals, Tweet, Query, Archer, and Perota Master for 3D. So well, 77's begun the draft. So it will be no, it was 3D. Whoever who began the draft. So Earthshaker actually being taken out, and in response FullMeals actually removed Visage, who is an insanely powerful tri-lane hero. So great bans there, stranded bans, and it will go on for the next 2 bans, of course. So Weaver actually being taken off by 3D. Weaver, as we've seen so many games, he's been so OP. I mean, the opponents actually invest in so much to bring Weaver down, to harass him. Sentry wards, you've got dust. A lot of investment actually goes into you know, stopping that Weaver or harassing him. Also, he's, you know, pretty good in, you know, if he actually wants to go that hard lane. Solo against the hard lane. Alright, so Ancient Apparition being taken off by FullMeals. Come on, guys. I really wanted to see AA being played this game. And Invoker in response to that AA. So 2 very nice heroes. Very, you know, they actually got a lot of presence in the game. So these 2 heroes, we will be saying goodbye to them because they are the part of the ban pool this time around. So Specky being taken out by FullMeals. Specky, well, definitely a great carry. And pretty interesting band. I don't know if they actually have a specific set strat in their mind, and I really don't know what actually led them to ban Spectre at this stage in the game. Alright, we'll talk about that later. Windrunner actually coming out from 3D, great utility hero, and in response FullMeals actually pick up that Pugna. Surprising that Pugna didn't make it to the ban pool. Actually surprising that he made out of the ban pool. And Clockwork Goblin also being picked by FullMeals. So it'll be a battle between Initiation versus Savior Us, something like that maybe. We'll actually have a look into that also. So Pugna, Clockwork, pretty hard push. Clockwork can of course defend against push. Pugna can actually also defend against push, and of course is himself a great pusher. Talking of push, 3D actually have Lich and SF. So right now 3D is also pretty good in terms of pushing. They've got Power Shot, they've got that Frost Nova, and they've got those raises to also help them counter push, or also to help them push. So well, we'll actually see what FullMeals have got. They will need to counter, you know, the quick growth of Windrunner and SF, who will be, you know, very powerful in that early mid game. Also, they scale well late game, but early and mid game they're actually very powerful. So, if there is someone who can really control these heroes and really get them to a level where they have everything they need to start roaming, to start ganking, to start helping other lanes, then it could spell doom for FullMeals. And FullMeals actually pick up that Vengeful Spirit. They realize that they need a support hero at this point, especially when Lich actually came out for 3D. So Vengeful being picked by FullMeals, and they probably will use a ranged carry, I'm guessing, to take advantage of that command aura. But yes, 3D removes Totem. who can really correspond well to that command aura, synergize well with that command aura, of course with that manta style command aura. She does insanely high amounts of damage. She's also, of course, a great push, a great a great initiation hero, and of course a great ganker in terms of every skill that she has. Initiation, of course, she is the expert. She's got that arrow of hers, plus she's got that invisibility. I don't know what it's called. Invis. Yes, I forget the skill, but yes, that invisibility is really helpful if you want to initiate. And FullMeals actually take out Swen. 3D really actually need someone. And Morphling, yes! Morphling, surprisingly, FullMeals actually haven't touched Morphling so far, so 3D actually took the advantage of completely eliminating any sort of OP from this game. So Morphling being taken out from being picked, so FullMeals will really have to rethink their strategy in terms of which carry they want to actually go in this game. Morphling, honestly, I was actually expecting Morphling to be the first ban. The picks have actually gone in such a way that they really take your focus out of thinking what carry you want to pick. But for some reason, Morphling's actually being left out of that thought. Alright, so Swen and Alchemist being banned by FullMeals, and in response, 3D actually picked Puck. So 3D have actually got a great AoE battle at the moment. They've got Lich's ultimate. Man, what the hell is it called? Chain Frost. Yes, Chain Frost. They've got their Nevermore's Razors. They've got Nevermore's Requiem of Requiem. Yes, Requiem. And Puck's ultimate. So Puck's ultimate will really hold them in place. If Nevermore actually has a Bling Dagger or even a Lothar's, you can actually get in there. Ulti, and then of course Lich can help with his Chain Frost, which does insanely high amounts of damage, plus an additional insanely high amount of slow that adds to that frost. And Razor actually coming off for FullMeals, so they really are looking for someone who can actually tank so much DPS. So really good pick by FullMeals. Razor already can deal a lot of DPS. All he really needs is that survivability to really handle the pressure that 3D will be able to draw upon FullMeals. So Razor will be going for that early Vanguard, that early Hood, and of course will be moving into making that pipe as soon as possible. So, Command Aura plus Razor's Static Link is actually a very good combo. If you guys haven't observed, it's they've really got great synergy in terms of everything that's going on here. They've got Clockwork Goblin, who can actually hook and initiate. With those cogs, he can hold the hero in place. Razor can actually come in, Static Link the same hero maybe, or anyone else around him, and of course do insanely high amounts of damage while being able to tank all that is being thrown at him. And of course he gets so much damage, considering the fact that Vengeful is of course always next to him most of the time, let's say 90% of the time. And of course, yes, he draws a lot of damage out of that Command Aura, and they've of course got Pugna, who can deal insanely high amounts of damage with that Nether Ward, Nether Blast, and will decimate a hero with that Life Drain. SK being picked by 3D, so we're really gonna see a lot of AoE battle in this game, and I'm really looking forward to an insanely high number of ganks and insanely high number of epic team fights to boot, of course. So we've got Windrunner, Lich, Shadow Fiend, Puck, and Sand King being picked by 3D. They've got great synergy here, considering the fact that if Puck can really initiate, if Puck can really put that ulti, at least 4 heroes, or 3 of them at least, if they're caught in Puck's ulti, it really is, or will be very helpful for SF or Lich, or even that SK to kind of initiate, not initiate, actually, for a great follow through with their ultimates. And there is actually more than enough to bring down the whole team, because SK's Epicenter actually does a lot of damage, and SF Salty of course does insanely high amount of damage, and that Frost Nova can actually start off that epic finish to FullMeals. So basically, FullMeals have got a lot that they need to look forward to, and we've got heroes being picked. So the final lineup is actually Ogre Magi, which is the last pick for FullMeals, Pugna, Clockwork Goblin, Razor, and Vengeful Spirit. And 3D actually replying back with Shadow Fiend, with Windrunner, SK, Lich, and that Puck. So these guys will be heading into their lane, so it'll be SF, Sand King, and Lich who will be entering that top lane, and it will be Windrunner in that mid lane. She probably will be facing off against this Pugna, yes, and it will be Puck who will be soloing this hard lane against Vengeful Spirit, Razor, and where is he? Ogre Magi, yes. So this is what really is gonna happen, and Clockwork Goblin already, of course, this is his job, so he will be doing this for a long time now. And Smoke of Deceit already up on 3D. We're actually looking for something, anything that they can kill. But of course, these guys have really not gone anywhere. So they're actually pretty cautious about the fact that both the teams might have people roaming, waiting for that chance to deal that early blow. But yes, these guys have actually decided not to go anywhere. They've decided to be very defensive this time around. So it will be Pals versus Varun, because they play in the same team, JNP, if you guys don't know. Yes, JNP is actually one of the top tier teams in India, and really one of the few teams which have great potential in becoming the best team, of course, I would say, in India. Alright, so it will be the battle against the same dudes who play for the same team, and of course their team. So this is a semi-final. Both the teams will be looking to make a place for themselves in the final. So this will be a great game, and we're looking forward to a lot of stuff in this game. So alright, so it's actually Puck who will be having a tough time in that hard lane. It will be Pugna versus that Windrunner in that mid lane, and already Pugna being very aggressive. Of course, Pugna, the type of hero is, you really want to play him aggressive, because he can actually deal insanely high amounts of damage. Look at his damage, 49 to 57, and Windrunner's actually got 46 to 58. Well, pretty okay in terms of damage, but I guess there's a lot of intelligence gain for Pugna. Plus also he's got great amounts of damage gain, as far as I've noticed. He does a lot of damage at every stage in the game, so his melee is something that we really don't want to get hit with, because actually it does a lot of damage. And Clockwork Goblin actually harassing that mid lane. Not sure if he will be able to farm here in the top lane, because those rockets can actually get him a few kills. And we are actually having Ogre Magi come down that mid lane. One mistake from Windrunner, and that will be first blood for FullMeals. Well, so far it's been kind of calm. No one really wants to be aggressive, which is kind of boring, but well, consider the fact that this is a semi-final game. They really want to be defensive. They really want to do something very thought out. And first blood already in mid lane. I am very sorry guys, I actually missed that kill, but it looks like Tweet was able to bring down that ASD Pugna in that mid lane. We'll actually have to you guys probably will need to go ahead and look at that replay as to how it actually happened. But yes, it certainly would have been really great if Windrunner was able to kill Pugna. Then it certainly would have been a mistake from Pugna. And Ogre Magi quickly realizing that Pugna might need help. He will also be looking for those initiation chances. So level 2 on that Ogre Magi, so he will be also having that slow ignite. Yes, that's what it's called. And well, actually, good ward placement here by 3D, Purata Master. They've got great ward here to actually look for any incoming from that bot lane, and also to keep an eye on the rune. Regen actually at the in that bot place at the moment, and SK and Lich. They're actually heading into that mid lane. We will be shifting our focus to that Lich for the moment, just to see how much these guys can actually see. Let me actually go to QWERTY. No. Archer. Yes, Archer. Who's Archer? Okay, so this is the vision. The pings going off at the moment, so we will go back to Rocket.Phobia's vision. And SK is very close in stun range. He actually stuns Pugna. Stun goes off from Ogre Magi, Tower doing a lot of damage, and that last melee from Lich actually brings down that Pugna. Rocket actually goes off from Clockwork Goblin, but really won't be doing much. Well, 0 for 2 in favor of 3D at the moment, and they're looking to be in pretty good shape as SF. Great harass on Clockwork Goblin, so a great start for 3D. 2 kills already in within 5 minutes, within 4 minutes actually. And Razor actually very low HP. He's gonna do that plasma field, and Puck really in a good position at the moment. But stun goes off from Vengeful Spirit. Haste actually on Vengeful Spirit. Phase shift really will not help her, as Vengeful Spirit's melee actually brings down that Puck in that bot lane. So, well, the first ever kill for FullMeals actually comes off with the death of Puck. So that's 1 of 2 still in favor of 3D. And Clockwork Goblin at the moment level 2, and he's actually taking a lot of raises at the moment. 3 raises, and his HP actually goes down to 190. In the process, he deals a lot of damage on SF, who also takes in the incoming creep waves damage. But yes, SF also has 311 HP versus 532 on Clockwork Goblin. But SF really is having a lot of fun farming in that bot lane, as Rocket goes off from Clockwork Goblin, but really that is a lot of intimidation, a lot of harass on that SF, who still will continue farming as much as possible. He's got 50 plus 53. Which roughly translates to probably, I don't know, maybe 15 souls? 2 damage per soul? No, probably is 20 souls, because he's actually drawing other damage from branches, circlets, and Partreads at the moment. Alright, so it's Puck who really will be looking forward to do a lot of things in that bot lane, because 3D will be looking for Puck's quick farm. Phase shift goes off from Puck, but he will be taking a lot of damage from that Razor, who is pretty comfortable in that bot lane. Harass going off on Windrunner, but really nothing much actually happening in that mid lane. Well, we will see a battle here, because Sand King, well, did he notice them? Wow, Sand King on a Hex. Or, well, that's actually maybe the professional level of play. Anyway, Ogre Magi and Vengeful Spirit heading towards that mid lane. They really want to actually bring down this Windrunner in the mid lane. Pugna is looking for a kill. He needs to farm. He needs to really get his items up. Actually speaking, he doesn't need items, but just some survivability. Maybe something else that he can do. And yes, 1 raise. And that will be the end of Clockwork Goblin. So 2 for 3 in favor of 3D. And, well, 3D doing absolutely brilliant at the moment. And Lich actually taking a lot of damage in that bot lane. Puck doing a really great job in trying to survive. And a lot of action so far. 7 minutes, and we've seen a total of 6 kills already, so that's actually great action, and we're really seeing a lot of aggressiveness come out from 3D at the moment. Mid lane's been quite calm, both the sides, but well, the top tri lane, great advantage here for SF, who is being played by Pels. He will be actually in a pretty good position in a while, because well, he's already got Partreads, and he's actually got a magic stick to help himself from those frequent rocket spams that he will be seeing. And it will be Ogre Magi, Clockwork Goblin, who will be trying to get and see for an opening, but Ogre Magi really not being able to do anything at the moment. Vengeful Spirit is still in smoke, but yes, they were trying to look for an opening, but they really couldn't find one. So Clockwork Goblin breathing a sigh of relief, because he's actually able to touch creeps finally. He will be looking to farm as much as possible. And Windrunner also Great farm in that mid lane for her. And stun will actually go off from Ogre Magi, and Ignite actually is up on Windrunner. Pugna is in Envy, but really doesn't do much because Windrunner has that Windrun ability, of course, because she's Windrunner. She can run quickly, she can run fast, so she uses that, escapes Pugna's whatever he wants to do. He's still in Envy at the moment. They've got well, they've actually got retreating heroes, but Pugna still in Envy. He really wants to do something here, but his skills will really not be enough to bring down that Windrunner at the moment. It will be another blast, probably level 3 or level 4, and of course he will have life drain, but it really wouldn't be able to bring down that Windrunner. And Pugna, yes, he's actually trying his luck now, but yes, Windrunner, of course, using that Windrun ability, going back to safety. Razor in that bot lane, if you guys haven't observed, he's already got Hood of Defiance up on him, and now he gets a boots. Great farm there from Razor. He's had a lot of fun in this tri-lane. Tri-lane, I say, but he's actually solo at the moment, and that actually has allowed you know, Lich and SK to actually roam, and that's really a lot of relief for 3D at the moment, because these two heroes can actually help other lanes. And Clockwork Goblin, he's having a tough time, he's having a tough day today. Level 6 at the moment. He's just got a boots, he's got warned, and a healing salve up, and we're actually seeing Smoke of Deceit up on Vengeful Spirit and Ogre Magi. Where is this Puck? Puck, okay, you're in base, but Puck, when you go there, you're actually gonna have the surprise of your life. Silence. These guys are in Smoke of Deceit? No, it actually is out. But they really wouldn't need a Smoke of Deceit right now, because they will be coming from behind. Puck, you are dead, my friend. Phase shift will really not help. Stun goes off from Ogre Magi. Another stun from Vengeful Spirit, and that melee will bring down that Puck in that bot lane, as Pugna is actually in low HP. Will be salving back to safety, bottling back to safety, rather. And this ward, Sentry Ward and Observer Ward, they really do want a counter ward, and tier 1 bottom tower for the Sentinel, I'm sorry, for the Scourge actually goes down. Razor not being able to get that last hit on that tower, but he's actually fat at the moment. He's got a hood, he's got a boots, and he will be looking forward to probably face boots, I guess, because that is what will give loads of initial damage in this early game, mid game phase. So face boots is something that he really might want to consider. And well, Razor is actually being unchecked here in bottom lane. He's made a lot of money for himself at the moment, as Clockwork Goblin will need to be really careful. 3D's got a ward up here, so they will be able to see a lot in this space. Usually it's actually in fog for any hero who might be here farming, and they really wouldn't be able to anticipate a gank. But yes, good ward placement and great thought from 3D will really help them, has actually already helped them you know, overcome those initial dangers of unprecedented ganks in that lane. And Pugna, well, really happy to be able to touch this tower. He will be looking to do as much damage as possible. We will be actually seeing a TP support. Yes, TP support actually comes in to that mid lane. It will be that SK who just wants us to make sure that nothing else happens to that mid tower, because he is holding himself responsible. He is the guardian of the Scourge. Hasn't leveled up his caustic, whatever it's called, but still being able to get a lot of gold at this stage. And he will be moving up. Dude, finish this. No, But no, he actually wants to go up because they really want to do some kind of initiation here in the top lane. Ogre Magi and Vengeful Spirit have actually joined Clockwork Goblin in the top lane at the moment. So we've got Lich, we've got Puck, and we've got SK. So great initiation actually coming off. Great initiation help actually. From these three heroes. SF is actually not in the mix at the moment, so he probably will be looking, and Puck actually missing that illusionary orb. SK was able to bring down that epicenter, and Cogs actually go off from Clockwork Goblin, but he will be able to go back to safety. Yes, he goes back to safety. Rocket's really not doing much damage at the moment, but SF really taking a lot of damage in that mid lane from that Razor, who is very happy just to get as much gold as possible. So, well, 5 for 5 at this point in the game, and it's pretty even at the moment. So 3D had a great start, but FullMeals is actually coming back into the game at the moment. So Clockwork Goblin, now he's got Arcane Boots, pretty interesting considering the fact that they don't have a CM to help that Clockwork Goblin. So he actually considered going for an Arcane instead of those phase boots, which we usually will see in most competitive games. So Arcane Boots will actually help him spam those rockets, keep any push in check, and he's got a bottle up on him at the moment. Alright, so Puck and Lich actually head back to base, while SF still farming, still looking for probably an early blink dagger, which will really help him you know, in that mobility, because he's got great DPS at the moment, and mobility is really what he needs to capitalize on that great DPS, because he's got souls, he's got DPS. All he needs is something that will be able to get him to his enemies as quickly as possible, and that can only be done with blink. Most will might prefer Lothars, but I think blink is still a very good option at the moment, as an initiation actually goes off in the mid lane. Power shot completely missing Razor, who now has a Vanguard up on him at the moment. So we've got three heroes, well, Ogre Magi and Vengeful Spirit, looking for an opening, and Puck actually comes in the range. Stun goes off, Ignite actually hits Puck, but well, great initiation actually goes off. Puck blinks illusory orb and goes back to safety as Vengeful Spirit, one more melee, and Vengeful Spirit actually goes down as Stun connects Windrunner, but she will be using that Windrunner ability to get the hell out of there. Cogs actually go off from Clockwork Goblin. SK trying to do everything possible at this stage of the game, but really nothing will help. Pugna will be following that SF, who is trying to get the hell out of there, but he's really in a bad position at the moment, as Pugna will be able to do another blast, life drain, and stun finishes that SF. Windrunner being able to get that illusions, but really nothing much that 3D was able to do in that team fight over there, which really started as Stun goes off, Ignite actually hits, Stun goes off again from Vengeful Spirit, Swap comes out, great swap, Puck actually comes in, Silence goes off, but Windrunner will be able to go back to safety. Very low HP, no, Stun actually hits her, and she will die to that melee from Ogre Magi, as Stun will hit Puck, but she will probably, yes, she actually goes off, face shifts away and illusory orbs away to safety. Razor is trying to follow, great escape there by Vengeful Spirit, who actually was able to go back to safety, as Puck salves herself back to safety. Great play here by FullMeals. They really turned two team fights in their favor, and it's 9 for 6 in favor of FullMeals at the moment. So insanely awesome comeback by FullMeals, and all I have to say is that 3D actually, from a good start, have placed themselves in a bad position at the moment. Not because they've played bad, because they have been actually outplayed in team fights by 3D, by FullMeals. Excuse me. Well, SK will be looking to defend this top tower, because that is really important. They've got Clockwork Goblin, they've got Razor and Ogre Magi and Pugna, who will be joining them at the moment, as Clockwork Goblin was able to initiate and well, stun, and finishing him off is that melee from Pugna. Pug actually comes in with that ulti, but Lich, well, really wasn't able to do much. But Shackle Shot actually goes off from Windrunner, and Tower is actually doing a lot of damage. And Hook actually comes off from Clockwork Goblin, who was able to connect two heroes. Windrunner and Lich both go down. Pugna is able to bring down that Lich. Great play here by FullMeals. 13-4-7. That Nether Ward doing insanely high amounts of damage, and they will be easily able to bring down this top tower, and Pugna gets that last Nether Blast hit on that tower. Wow. So far, I don't know what to say. So much action in this game already. Clockwork Goblin being played by Varun, being handled so goddamn well. He's done insane initiation so far that has really helped his teammates execute you know, their combos perfectly fine. He was able to bring two heroes into the COG. The COGs. Yes, COGs is what it's called, yes. So SK and Lich in the top lane at the moment. Clockwork Goblin already there. Mini stun goes off. Stun actually comes off from SK, but Frost goes off, but really won't do much here as stun goes off again. And Cog actually will be able to hold him in place and bring down that SK. Swap comes off from Vengeful Spirit. Stun goes off, and Netherward's doing insanely high amounts of damage. Puck multicast. No, it was Ogre's multicast able to bring down that Lich. Vengeful Spirit, I'm sorry, Windrunner doing everything possible, but haste on Pugna. And he will run away as Ogre Magi actually comes in. Race 1, 2, Clockwork Goblin, another hook. He's able to, Shackle Shot actually connects Clockwork Goblin, and they will be able to bring down, that's the first kill in the last 10 minutes for 3D, and that is really something that they should be happy about. So 15 for 10 in favor of FullMeals, 3 heroes in exchange for 1, and they should be pretty happy about that team fight in that top lane. Well, and my throat is actually going very dry talking so much, and I actually observed that I'm actually using the word actually a lot, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. This is something that I've just picked up. No, it just happened in this ward. So if you guys observe, or if you guys actually see, if you guys see me using the word actually again, just bear with me. I'm sorry. I don't know what actually happened, but oh my god, I don't know what happened, but I'm just using the words too much. Okay, so Lich, SK, and SF heading that mid lane that Howl actually missed, so they really don't have vision of what is going on here. But did they spot Razor? No, they actually haven't. Okay, so 3D in a very defensive position at the moment. They really wouldn't be able to do much, simply because, like we actually discussed, great initiation capability of FullMeals will actually help them throughout the game. And Razor, he's being unchecked. He's got that phase boots up on him. He's got the magic wand. He's got a TP scroll, which he will be using. TP scroll, of course. Yes, and he's got a ring of Basilius to help him. So Vengeful, Ogre Magi, and Razor will be heading into that bot lane. Of course, they will be looking for an opening. SF is here, but really nothing much he can do, and he goes for a BKB. Great item considering the fact that I'm sorry, Clockwork Goblin is really in a good position at the moment. SK was able to bring down a stun, and Epicenter will be able to bring down that SK. Stun goes off from Vengeful Spirit. Illusory Orb Puck able to hold 2 people in ulti. Ogre Magi actually blinks. Actually was trying to TP, but stun from SK will be able to stop that, and they were able to bring down that Ogre Magi. So Vengeful Spirit, where are you? Yes, both actually died. So great stuff there from FullMeals. Sorry, 3D. They were finally able to get 2 heroes, 3 heroes in that team fight. So 15 for 13, still in favor of FullMeals, but we will be looking to see what both of these teams will have, you know, under their sleeve from here. So the game looks pretty balanced, pretty even. They've got a lot of initiation power from both the sides. They've got SK, they've got their Puck, they've actually got Windrunner, who can also initiate with a shackle shot, and they've got a Lich to really hold the heroes in place, or at least slow them down, to help that SK land a very good epicenter. So everything is really based on the workflow for 3D, whereas for FullMeals it really depends on who is the first person to initiate, and the rest of the team can really follow up, can really give a follow through with whatever they have. So considering that, FullMeals really have the upper hand at this point, because single target spells. Okay, before I actually talk about that, these guys are actually in Smoke of Deceit at the moment, and they are looking for some blood. 5 heroes in Smoke of Deceit. This is like the best things that you can see in a Dota game. This is something that we've never ever seen so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your only opportunity to see 5 heroes in Smoke of Deceit looking for blood. Looking for blood. Chinese teams need to learn something from Indian Dota. This is what they need to learn. Initiate as Swoop goes off from Vengeful Spirit. Stun connects. Nether Blast goes off. Vengeful Spirit. SF ulti. Blink. I'm sorry. Frost Nova hits them. SK. I'm sorry guys, I'm actually losing track of what is going on. Raises 1, 2, and really lots of damage coming out of 3D at the moment, and great stuff from 3D. SK really doing a great job, but one stun will be able to kill him, and that brings him down. Puck actually being able to illusory orb. Stun goes off from Vengeful Spirit, and one more deep melee was able to bring down that Vengeful Spirit. Ultra kill for Pulse, who did a really great job on that SF. And he really deserves that ultra kill. BKB, ulti, move back a bit, position yourself perfectly, and 1, 2, 3 raises to bring down 3 heroes, and that was one epic sight to watch. So great work there by Pulse, and Windrunner already has that mech up on her already. It's 25 minutes, but yes, it's expected. But yes, the team is actually now moving to that mid lane to push that tower. They really desperately need to do something about the towers at the moment. Alright, so Piranha Master actually getting that last hit on the tower, and a great ulti by Lich in that last team fight. If you guys actually haven't observed that, and I actually missed saying it because I was caught up in so many other things that I wanted to say but I couldn't say because of the time lag. Because there was so much happening at the same time. Yes. So yes, great ulti by Lich, really helping his team in connecting everything so brilliantly. So that slow really helped deal insane amounts of damage, and also helped shackle shot Windrunner deal a lot of shackle shots, deal a lot of damage, melee damage also, and that SK was able to stun and really hold people in place. So great stuff from 3D. They've got 17 on 17, evening the progress in the game. Okay, again looking for an opening. Vengeful Spirit, great initiation last gank, last team fight. Like I was saying, you know, when the drafting was actually happening, FullMeals really have a lot of initiation power. You know, at all stages in the game. And Clockwork Goblin really trying to finish those creeps with the rocket, but power shot, and other heroes will be able to finish off that creep wave quite easily. So all 5 heroes in that mid lane now, all of them in Smoke of Deceit at the moment. This is getting very interesting. This is something that we've never seen before in any Indian game. And this is really something that people need to start doing. They need to make Dota more action-packed than, you know, actually using turtling as a strategy all the time. This is something that is not seen in Chinese games, but well, of course, if you want some uniqueness, if you want innovative strategies, if you want really creative minds working together, Indian Dota is the place for you, baby. This is how we roll. Yes. Well, of course, that Smoke of Deceit was a fail because they really weren't able to do much, but they still used it, guys. Yes, they still used it. It's the thought, it's the spirit that matters. It's yes, that is what matters the most. Okay, so 5 heroes again in Smoke of Deceit. This is what I call an epic game. This is really something that we all need to keep doing at all times. Like, this is the 5th time I've said it. Bloodlust up on Razor at the moment. He's got Pipe, he's got Face Boots, and he's got that Vanguard. Windrunner in a very bad position at the moment. Hook really missing from Goblin, but Rocket will grant vision. Stun goes off from Ogre Magi. Ignite will really help. Plasma Fuel actually goes off from Razor at the moment. Mech comes off from Windrunner. Puck ulting, but Razor doing insane amounts of damage, but Shackle Shot keeping him in place. Ulti goes off from Shadow Fiend, 1 raise, 2 raise, and melees will be able to bring down that Vengeful Spirit. Ulti actually goes off from Lich, multi-cost. Wow! Great cog there from Clockwork Goblin, but he will go down. No, he was not able to bring down Lich, but Lich is able to salve himself to safety. No, Life Drain actually brings him down. Life Drain is actually bringing Shadow Fiend down. Nether Blast brought Lich down. So that is just a reverse. Pugna, and Puck TPing himself to safety. Wow. Shackle Shot from Windrunner, but we're too far for a stun from Ogre Magi. But really, 1 power shot could have spelled doom for Ogre Magi. And I really think Windrunner actually had the mana. Yes, she did. She's got that Perseverance up on her. Survived that last gank, and this Bloodlust is really helping Razor do insane amounts of damage, and really show a lot of presence in the game as well. As 3D really, FullMeals really want to get this top tower. Shackle Shot comes off from Windrunner. Great damage actually going off. A pipe actually goes off. SK stun goes off. But yes, he will be Clockwork Goblin initiating, but goes down to that illusory orb from Puck. And Puck ulti not able to hold Razor in place, but Shackle Shot will do. SK stun again goes off, but stun from Ogre Magi will stop SK from doing much. And Razor taking that stun and going down to Vengeful Spirit. Wow, FullMeals, you guys are actually insane. If you guys observe that last team fight, I know I wasn't able to talk much about what was going on, but everything that FullMeals have actually done in that team fight was absolutely brilliant and coordinated. For example, SK stunned Razor here, and Ogre Magi was actually in fog, stunning SK so that he really didn't or couldn't initiate his ulti. That is what is really called a support hero, and that is really how you play Dota, my gentlemen. That is really how you stay, even though you're on a low HP, even though you're on, even though there's no hope, there's always that 1% of something that you can do in a team fight. Productiveness is what these people are good for. Productiveness is actually a research. I know I'm exaggerating it, but still, there are a lot of things that you can really do, even when you're on pretty low HP. So at the moment, FullMeals have actually placed themselves in a great position in the game. 21 for 19 is still quite balanced, still really balanced, I should say. And well, counter warding actually coming off from 3D. They don't want any vision to go to FullMeals at the moment. So Archer really granting a lot of vision to 3D at the moment, but they have good vision in the top lane because that is where these guys are actually pushing, and they will be looking to enter from either here, or they will be entering from here. And 3D actually has this place and this place covered. This place is actually pretty important in all stages of the game, especially when this tower is supposed to be supposedly being pushed. And well, FullMeals ward was here, but it goes off because it was end of 2 minutes, of course. Vengeful Spirit, Urn of Shadows, and Boots. That is all really that is needed to do everything possible. Smoke of Deceit up on the whole team at the moment. Not the whole team, but Windrunner and Lich and SK. So 3 initiators. Smoke of Deceit, great choice of being there. Power Shot actually trying to deforestate the entire area, as Vengeful Spirit is actually in envy. So really no sight of what's of anything whatsoever, as Nether Ward is doing lots of damage at the moment. SK already up on SF, actually up on that, and Ulti will be able to bring down that Razor. Phase Shift comes out from Puck as Ulti goes up from Lich and bounces, really doing a lot of damage as Ogre Magi actually goes back to safety. Dust goes off, but really nothing much he can do. Manta Style up on SF, and he's dealing a lot of DPS, and Rocket and Stun was able to bring down that Lich as if SF is actually going back to safety. Vengeful Spirit really doesn't want to give up the chase at the moment, because they know they really have placed themselves in a comfortable position, as Pugna was able to bring down that tier 2 bottom tower. So 3D is actually losing towers, even though ganks are pretty balanced. They're actually losing a lot of towers. So 23 to 20 in favor of FullMeals at the moment. Okay, so they're actually looking for a quick Roshan. This is the right time if they actually want to do something here, but Windrunner and SF realizing something's really fishy, and Howl actually goes off. Power Shot will reveal the positions of the Sentinel heroes in the quest for Roshan, and if these guys can actually ward in some place, they should be able to put an end to any attempts on that Roshan, as Clockwork Goblin sending an illusion, scouting the area. Any mistake can happen from 3D at the moment. Anyone can use anything at the moment, as Clockwork Goblin actually sends his illusion, and Archer knows that cheeky Clockwork Goblin is actually an illusion being played by Archer. Yes, Archer illusion is of course played by Archer. No, that is VRN, that's Varun. Yes, Varun's illusion being played by Varun. In any case, SF is actually only neutral creeping at the moment, because these guys really don't have any chance of surviving in an early lane, because there's great synergy coming out of FullMeals in this game. Varun and ASD doing a really good job at all stages in the game. Of course, also everyone else. So a quick look at the CS cores will actually tell us where we are at the moment. So it's Pugna with 102 for 11, 87 for 3 for that Clockwork Goblin, 196 for 32 for that Razor. It's 201 for 32 as we speak. 202, 240 for 49 for that Shadow Fiend, who's being played by Pulse Tweet, on 94 for 3, and 55 for 4 on that Puck. As Clockwork Goblin, great initiation, being able to hold heroes. BKB goes off on SF. Ulti was able to bring down Varun, and Lich ulti bounces off. Great ulti as Varun, no, it was Pulse was able to bring down that Vengeful Spirit. Great ulti actually goes off from Puck, and SK dies to that ulti from Razor, but nevertheless was able to bring SF was actually able to bring down Razor. No, and I'm missing a lot of things here, but yes, Ogre Magi actually goes down to a great team fight, a great potentially fatal DPS blow, or whatever I can say at this stage. Yes, a lot of DPS actually coming from 3D. Like I was saying, these guys have got an AoE battle, and if an AoE battle is initiated, or if these guys counter initiate an AoE battle, they will always stay at the top. And great choice of item there by Pulse. He knew he really needed that BKB if he needs to survive that mini stun from Clockwork Goblin, and that is exactly what he did. He really got that BKB at an early stage in the game. He now has an Eagle on Hup. He also has a Manta Style. We've seen so many times in action. Windrunner has that Lincoln Spear, so that will help her against any disable attempts, and she can actually get back to safety and do a lot of damage from there. So Phase Boots will also help her with that additional mobility, also with that survival. And Mech up on Windrunner at the moment, who is actually looking for a quick go into in this game, which is really the need of the hour, because if these guys can hex Razor, then FullMeals really don't have a tanking potential hero. Tanking potential hero? No, someone who can really tank. not the right choice of words, but I hope I actually got my point across. So yes, really no one can actually tank the burst damage coming out of 3D at this stage of the game. Ogre Magi in a very bad position at the moment because, well no, FullMeals had the ward, but multicast goes off on Puck, and Ignite goes off as Razor comes in, blinks, and lots of DPS from, well, nothing going on at the moment as Pugna, Nether Ward, great Nether Ward save as Clockwork Goblin initiates, swap goes off from Vengeful Spirit, ulti goes off from SF, really not hitting much, but SK was able to bring down that Razor as Manta Style on SF, and great DPS and multicast will bring down that SF, and Windrunner doing a lot of damage at the moment as Pugna doing a great job of being able to restrict that SK from doing anything at the moment. Shackle Shot holding SF in place, and well, one raise will bring that Pugna down as great team fights going off from both sides. Wow, this is epic. This is really epic. If you guys saw the comeback made by 3D so far, if you guys have actually noticed what 3D have done, they've placed themselves way above what FullMeals could have done. 26 for 28 in favor of 3D, and suddenly 3D is looking very comfortable. Guys, this game is not one-sided like every other Indian competitive Dota game that we've seen so far. Most of the games, you know, they're actually balanced till mid-game, but you know, once they enter that 35-36 minute phase, it really is one-sided. This game is different. This game shows how teamwork, coordination, and proper gameplay can actually help your team win any kind of team fight. Great positioning by 3D at every stage. Windrunner really staying away, only doing the shackle shot that are really important. Shackle shotting the right hero is what I meant to say. SF very quick on that BKB. Of course, he died to Pugna's Nether Blast. And that Nether Ward, which really no one can, you know, do anything against. But yes, great positioning by the whole team because Lich was able to, you know, execute his ulti so well, and SK was always in a position to actually stun every hero who was either running away or trying to do something, or initiate a fight. And also Pugna being able to stay there, silencing those heroes at the right time, ulting the heroes at the right time. This is really what defines you know, teamwork. If you guys have been playing from a really long time, you will really understand what the other team is doing, what the other team might be thinking, and depending on your team's playstyle, you adjust or you adapt to what your team will want to do. And really that is something we're looking at in 3D. And FullMeals, of course. Both of these teams, great potential, you know, really great team play, great work in every aspect of the game. In every stage, they've actually shown that everything, or you know, nothing is actually impossible, is what I was trying to say. Okay, and my throat is dry. Okay, Smoke of Deceit up on half the team now, and Clockwork Goblin, Bloodlust up on him. He initiates on that Windrunner, but that Lincoln Spear really not being able to help because Ignite actually comes up from Clockwork Goblin. Nether Ward is doing really insane amounts of damage, and those cogs will be able to bring down that Windrunner. No! And well, Clockwork Goblin actually goes down to that melee from SF, who is doing insane amounts of damage. Mega kill on 4 pals at the moment as Varun was actually brought down, and Manta Style goes off again. BKB and ulti goes off from SF. Really is not able to do much at this stage because well, he's caught from a stun from Vengeful Spirit, and Eye of the Storm dealing a lot of damage. Puck goes off. Bloodlust up on Razor at the moment, and he will be able to bring down Windrunner, but he is taking his chances against that SF, who will go down. No, just a little bit of HP, and he survives. That is great stuff from both the teams. Great counter ganking, but not enough really to stop the advance from FullMeals, who again placed themselves in a 29 position. and TP support comes off from Puck. Well, really lucky there to go back alive as the tier 3 tower goes down. Razor is really trying to do everything possible. A lot of damage coming off from SF as he was able to bring down that Vengeful Spirit. Manta Style goes off from Razor, who has that up on him at the moment. Puck with that Illusory Orb really not doing much. Frost Nova will go off, but he will be able to TP himself back to safety. Pugna, great job there in the gank, really showing a lot of presence with that Nether Ward. SF, insane amounts of DPS. He's got that butterfly up on him. He's got Helm of Dominator. He's got Manta Style. He's got BKB. He's got up treads, and this is really what this is really what he needs at this stage of the game, because he is also insanely powerful at the moment. Puck, she's got that Bling Dagger up on her, 2 bracers, magic wand, and that power treads. I was actually looking for a Django because that will really help the whole team. If Puck or Windrunner really are able to get a Django up, that will really help the whole team, because DPS wise, 3D is in a really good position and not something that FullMeals can tank. Vengeful, squishy, still squishy. Clockwork Goblin, though he has a Vanguard and a Blade Mail and a Plate Mail up, he's got 5 plus 15.7 armor, which roughly translates to 56% damage reduction, but that really will not be able to help him against the insanely high DPS of 3D, who are actually looking for an opening at the moment, or who are actually looking for some form of anything. Really anything. So 44 minutes into the game so far, and we'll actually have a quick look at the CS scores, but before that it's 29 for 30 still in favor of 3D, so they're still at the top in the moment. So 112 for 11 for that Pugna, 118 for 3 for that Clockwork Goblin, 249 for 36 for 4DD, who's playing that Razor, and it is 4SS who's on that Vengeful Spirit, and she's got 17 for 2. Pretty good. Very low, but pretty good. Of course, she really shouldn't be farming, but the very good I'm talking about is the fact that she has restricted herself from really farming, as ASD was able to bring down a tier 3 tower, and no TP support actually coming from 3D at the moment, and they probably will not be looking to push this tower. No, they're not. They're actually going back to defend their base, and Archer, who's on that Lich, is just there as SF was actually caught in a cog, and Clockwork Goblin actually goes down as SK really initiating with that epicenter, and he's able to do so much damage, but Pugnak's got that BKB up on him at the moment. Mech will not be able to help him much, but SF was able to bring down that Pugna, who now goes down to those melees from SF. Triple kill for Pels, and ASD's double kill streak is actually stopped for 355 gold by Pels. Well, 31 for 34 in favor of 3D, and this is really turning out to be one of the best action-packed games that I've ever seen in my whole life. Really, insanely awesome, completely epic. That's all I have to say. That is all I have to say. And a quick Roshan will actually probably give that who's gonna take that Aegis is really the question, and Aegis actually taken by Windrunner at the moment, as Clockwork Goblin holding Windrunner in those cogs, and Blade Mill is up on him at the moment, as SF is trying to do everything possible to bring down that Clockwork Goblin, but Windrunner will rise from the ashes thanks to the Aegis that she's got. Shackle Shot will be able to hold that Razor in place, but SK going down to the multicast and Razor's DPS. Lich, where are you? There you are. So SK really the only hero dying in that exchange, whereas Sentinel actually losing 2 heroes in the process, and 3D have actually moved themselves into pushing the tier 2 tower in that mid lane, and Ignite goes off, but that Lincoln Spear will actually stop that from happening. And Ogre Magi knows if he gets caught, he will really they will blast him to oblivion, and doing a great thought of going back to base. Great game so far. 48 minutes, pretty long than what I really expected, but something that we're looking forward to. We have been looking forward to, like I was saying. This is an epic game, so epic things last longer, really longer. And Vengeful Spirit has been doing a great job of farming all game, and I was actually guessing to see a go into on that Windrunner, but it looks like it probably is it will take a while. But she's got the Ultimate Orb and the Void Stone up, and he probably will have the Crow sent to collect that Mystic Staff. Yes, it does. Mystic Staff actually is going back to Windrunner, who is waiting for it to be delivered to her, and that Goensu is now ready. So bring it, FullMeals is what they have to say, as Razor still in the smoke of DC, but decides to get out of it because there's really nothing much they have to do here. No wards, mind you. No, there are wards. These are actually FullMeals wards, but no wards really from 3D at the moment to actually place tabs on FullMeals. Counter warding at all stages in the game by Archer from 3D, so that's something that most pro teams can actually do with Elan, and most teams can actually learn how counter warding is really important. There you go, another ward, just so you can see enemy wards, just so you can check anyone who might be in envy or in that smoke of deceit, as they've learned to use a lot so far. So that Pugna with that Aghanims and with that BKB is really very powerful. He's also got that mech up on him, so that should really help Pugna do a lot of damage, actually, as he usually does in every team fight. Haste Rune probably will be picked by Pugna. Yes, it does. So interesting choice of items here. Not interesting, pretty standard, but it's actually hard to believe that they've got so much thought going into everything at the moment, as Puck will be caught. No, a Shackle Shot actually holds ASD in place, that is the Pugna, but they will be able to go back to safety. Lincoln Spear actually saving Puck from something, I don't know what, but it really saved her from something. We're 52 minutes into the game so far, and we will be looking for something epic to happen, because that is what we really want at this stage of the game. 52 minutes of a Dota game, and it's really getting boring, but it's been action-packed, folks. It's been really action-packed. 32 for 35 is what the score is, so that really can tell you how much balance, how balanced the game has been. The picks are pretty standard. No hero is very OP, and that is really what defines a great game. And some of you, if you don't know yet, Dota 6.72b is out. So if you guys haven't actually tried playing the 6.72, it's got loads of changes, probably the most ever seen so far. So I would actually recommend you guys check the 6.72 because it seems to be very promising, considering all the gameplay changes, not the gameplay changes, but I would say the nerfs and the buffs that's been given this time around. Strength heroes have actually been given more HP regen per second, opposed to what they had earlier. So 0.75 regen per second has become 1 point regen per second. So there are different changes like these, which might bring up new things, and really playing is what will give you an idea of what is going on. So well, 3D says enough is enough. We will push this bot lane, and they're actually here. They're already here, as Razor Plasma Field will be able to bring down most of the creep wave, and he will be looking to finish the creep wave as soon as possible. As Ignite goes off, Shackle Shot, great Shackle Shot holding. Puck initiates with an amazing ulti. Guinta goes off, and ulti comes up from SF, but really doing not much damage. But Clockwork Goblin initiates, really doesn't get anyone in the cogs, but Razors are doing a lot of damage, but those nether wards are dealing insane amounts of damage, as Lich ulti was able to bring down so much of the health of FullMeals, but Life Drain and Nether Blast and Nether Ward really is making that change. That is an insane play by Pulse. Did you guys actually see that? He meta styled the stun from Ogre Magi, as that Goinsu will help SF bring down. Great play by SF here. Insanely awesome play by SF. Mini stun is actually holding SF back, and he actually goes down to that stun, to that multicast from Ogre Magi, and he was this close, very close to bringing that Clockwork Goblin down, but mini stun and ultimately that multicast from Ogre Magi killing that SF, as SF actually buys back. My throat has been going a lot dry. I don't know why. Wow, that rhymes. My throat has been going dry. I don't know why. Okay. Anyway, I'll stop with the crap, but we will actually get back to the game. 55 minutes, and I really don't know what to talk. I might go insane, so please bear with me. Satanic up on SF. So a proper 6-pack is what he has. Crystallis will also help him deal crazy crits. SK really is the only person missing a Blink Dagger, but really shouldn't make a difference, considering the fact that 3D is doing a great job of counter initiating, or actually initiating themselves, because if they're doing any one of these, they go up. But if FullMeals actually doesn't allow them to do anything, then FullMeals really will have the upper hand in every team fight. And Vengeful Spirit and Ogre Magi. Phase Shift actually goes off from Puck, but Stun goes off from Vengeful Spirit at the moment. Ignite goes off from Swap, hits Puck. Phase Shift again, and she will know Clockwork Goblin was able to bring down that Puck thanks to the rocket and that hook, dealing lots of damage, and Puck goes down. So that is 37 for 38, still in favor of 3D. But if you see, 3D have actually lost, are losing their racks at the moment, and the heroes are back to defend their homeland. And Windrunner and SF are really in a very good position at the moment to really ward off this defense. Great positioning by Pulse, really great play. And this is really why SK needs a Blink Dagger. This is exactly why SK needs a Blink Dagger, because if you cannot initiate into a team, this is what will happen. 3D just lost both their racks, and it is Mega Creeps in the top lane, and they will be probably rotating themselves to that mid. They have really no excuse not to do so. So they will be rotating down that mid. So 3D have actually lost that mid lane racks and that top lane racks. All of this without FullMeals getting into a team fight. So both of these teams being very very defensive at this stage, especially when you really have to do a lot of stuff. 3D really in a bad position at the moment because they will be focused more on defending their lanes, defending their base more than being able to push. And FullMeals is really taking this opportunity to scout, and Ogre Majai's multicast goes off on SF, but he is slowed down. Going to goes off, and lots of damage comes off. Ogre Majai goes down. Puck ulti, SK stun. They were able to hold Pugna in place. Shackle shot, really, well, that is double kill for Pals, and this is really what they need. As someone was here, and they TP'd themselves back to base. Who was that? That was Clockwork Goblin. Boy, he would have died. Simply a great death if he would have just been there. So good TP, good thought from Varone. As 3D, the game in favor of 3D, but they're really unable to do anything simply because of the fact that FullMeals were able to push the top lane and the mid lane. This is very interesting. 38 for 40 at this stage of the game. Wow. And Bariza up on SF, so he will be doing 2.5 into damage, so that is the amount of critical that he will hit on every hero possible, and he's got a 20% chance to actually proc that, so that's 2.5 into 98 plus 291, which roughly translates to 389. So that is 389 into 2.5, and it's 20% of 389 into 2.5, and that is so epic. If that damage gets dealt on a hero, really 2-3 shots is really what they need. FullMeals are really defensive position at the moment, because they know they can really do nothing at this stage of the game to actually do anything to 3D, as they take another opportunity to bring down that Roshan, as they're actually realizing something is wrong and quickly head back, and do not plan on staying there any longer. SF also has got that BOT up, and he is actually looking to bring down that Roshan. Clockwork Goblin initiating with the hook, being able to hold no one in yet so far. Going to goes off on Clockwork Goblin. He's able to escape, and SF is actually able to bring him down. Mana Drain doing a lot of damage. Lich ulti bounces off, exactly what they wanted at this stage. Razors, well, that is exactly what Tyrannic is capable of. He is doing insanely high amounts of damage, absorbing that as a lifesteal. SK stun at the moment. Idle Storm doing a lot of damage on SK, but he was able to survive thanks to the DPS from SF, or the whole team would have actually gone down. So 39 for 42 in favor of 3D, but they really are not able to do anything to this advance from creeps. If this actually continues, then they probably will not be able to defend their base anymore. They really need to be able to do something. Pushing is what they need. Yes. And well, silence is golden. Why doesn't it say a lot of things? Simply because it is Roshan's turn to die now to the Sentinel side, who have actually claimed the Aegis. So Lightning Revenant, Razor, our beloved Razor, actually takes. Swap goes off from Vengeful Spirit. BKB comes off from SF, who is actually being nether warded at the moment. And DPS, so much DPS on Pugna, and he is taken down as SF goes back to safety and still is able to deal a lot of damage. That Satanic is actually doing an insane amount of damage. Stun goes off on Vengeful Spirit. 1, 2, 3 is able to bring down that Vengeful Spirit, and Razor goes down, but that Aegis will be able to bring him back to life. Illusion is doing a lot of damage at the moment. Frost Nova and that melee from SF was able to bring down that Ogre Magi. So great stuff, absolutely fantastic stuff from FullMeals. I'm sorry, from 3D. But however, I say in quotes, it is very difficult for 3D to defend these two lanes and just push. It is really not possible. But 3D will not give up. They say they don't wanna, because they just spent so much effort in killing the Sentinel. They want to be able to use this opportunity to finish these towers as Clockwork Goblin loads up that glyph, and the tower actually is able to regenerate, and SF TP's back as Clockwork Goblin is able to bring in, but SF now tries to bring down the tower, and wow, lots of damage on that tower. Lots of damage on that tower. Windrunner is still using that last skill of hers. I don't know what that is called, but they're still using that skill of hers. A stun goes off from Vengeful Spirit. Going to goes off from Windrunner, and just 5 shots from SF is enough to bring down that Vengeful Spirit. Wow, it's been pretty crazy so far, as Clockwork Goblin is actually initiating at the moment. Windrunner will go down, and SF really doing insanely high amounts of damage to that SF, to that Clockwork Goblin, and now is Manta styled to the Pugna, who is doing insanely crazy amounts of damage. It was held in into the cogs now, and SF goes down, and that is simply a GG stage for Pels, who actually doesn't give a damn. He buys back and he wants to defend the tower. Wow, 3D really not giving up at this stage of the game also, because of course they've got so much in their favor at the moment. 43 for 46 in 3D's favor. I don't know if this is actually a good time to look at CS scores, but we will still go through it. So it's 142 for 11 on that Pugna, and 132 for 3 on that Clockwork Goblin, and it is 373 for 45 on that Razor, and 580 for 49 on that Shadow Fiend, 213 for 4 for that Windrunner, and 127 for 6 for that Puck. So great distribution of gold, and that is really what you wanted to actually do. Wow. And sorry guys, that was my mouse. As Assault Curious is actually up on Razor, and well, this is the initiation that we're looking for. This is the final gank of the game. This is the final moment of the game. This will spell doom, as Clockwork Goblin is able to initiate with the cog, and he's able to hold Windrunner in place. Lots of DPS coming out of SF, who's actually able to do an ulti, but is still held in place by the cogs. BKB, I'm sorry, SF, SK ulti goes off. Multicast was able to bring down that SF. Ulti goes off from Lich, bounces, but still not able to do much. Really, it is Sentinel who wins the game, win the game. FullMeals, after 67 minutes of the game, are able to pull off something like this. In the end, a very good initiation to actually help them go into the finals. So we will be looking into the game, into the final game. I will be getting that as soon as possible, and we're actually talking about the game. 3D, to be honest, 3D, in my opinion, was way more powerful than Full Meals. The reason why Full Meals actually flourished, actually won, is simply because of their strength of initiation. If they did not allow 3D to actually initiate the way they were doing mid to late game, Full Meals would have always been on, been on the top. Just like how Clockwork Goblin wasn't initiating that much or that well in mid game, that is why 3D actually came up. But really, if Full Meals would have tried to do the same thing from the beginning, they could have restricted 3D to a lot. But in my honest opinion, I loved the way 3D played today. And to be honest, if this was an actual team, I would have personally taken them out for a drink, because these guys played brilliantly. I really loved the way Pels played that Nevermore. Tweet, Parada Master, Archer, and Cordy, everyone doing a crazy job of every hero that was given to them being played to their fullest potential. And I also really liked everyone from Full Meals who also played their heroes to their potential. But ultimately, congratulations to Full Meals, who were able to make a place in the finals. And we will be looking for the finals game. Until then, good luck and take care.